Hello and welcome! Tonight on the show, we three cheesers present to you a cheese apiece, if you please. We are so excited to have you. This is Soft Spoken.
And we're back. We are Soft Spoken, with a podcast detailing your favorite sauces, dips, and condiments. My name's Adam, and I'll be your host, and I'm joined here this week by my co-host, Tori.
Hi there. It's us again. Really glad to see you. Hey, and congratulations on that thing that happened last week. I've been meaning to tell you that. Good work. And to my right, you wouldn't believe it, this guy, he is the Squid Game squid. This is the guy who everyone chases around. Oh, hell, I don't know. I've never seen it. Anyway, this is E, co-host friend E. Welcome to the show, E.
Squid E.
And I just finished Squid Games like yesterday. So.
I'm on the second to last episode. I have one left, I should say.
It's a good show.
Yeah, it was pretty good. The one thing I thought was interesting about it was that the English dubs were atrocious. I mean, some of them were okay, but when I got to like the one police officer, I was like, can't do it. So then I switched it back to Korean and watched it subtitles. But Netflix like defaults to American dubs, which I didn't realize. I thought that was just what it was, and I'm like, oh shit, yeah.
I mean, yeah, they're so out of sync that I don't know. I just tried not to pay attention to it.
They don't get like the ambiance of the room right and stuff, you know. So it's like, you know, they'll be in like a big hallway, but you'll hear them like we're talking now, like right next to your ear, and it's like that's shit's whack, you know.
Wow.
Or like the kids laughing, and they're like, ha 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 ha, you know, like clearly like fake and stuff. But before we go any further, it's time to catch up with the host.
Time to catch up.
Yep, I always jump the gun, aren't I?
Eric, how was your week this week?
It's been great. Squid Games and Ouija boards and going to bars, doing shots of tequila. What else did I do?
Who are you doing shots of tequila with?
Ronnie.
Why wasn't I invited?
I think you were invited.
When was this?
Sure. Actually, yeah, we were supposed to be you and me and Samantha and Ronnie all messing around with the Ouija board, having a bonfire in my back.
What was I doing
You had
instead?
something better to do. I forget.
What day was that?
Oh, yes, right. You went to a concert.
Oh, Slipknot. Yeah. Fuck
Which
yeah, bro.
is way better than the even, doing shots of tequila.
I would have liked to do both, but Slipknot was badass. I'd never seen them live before in concert, and they put on a hell of a show. Them and Killswitch Engage and a couple local bands, Code Orange and Fever 333.
Nice.
Local
that
shout outs
cool.
there. But yeah, Slipknot fucking killed it. Still have bruises a week later. So,
Wow.
But what else did you get into there, Eric?
And let's see, was that yesterday? Yes, yesterday I was at my friend's house. We were playtesting a new card game that we're co-collaborating together on. So, yeah, kind of neat, kind of wild. I actually
Outstanding.
printed out and sleeved all of our like sample test cards. That way they could all like actually look like a card and be shuffled.
You printed these out, you said?
Yeah,
like
I printed
artwork
them
you designed or something?
Well, we haven't even gotten to that far yet. We're still working on the mechanics.
Well, what did you print out then?
Just all the text of the unique
text.
card,
Okay,
text,
gotcha.
and then slip those in front of note cards to give them a little bit of rigidity. So then put that all into.
If you, the listener, wants to playtest Eric's brand new game, new titillating thriller coming soon to a Kickstarter near you, hit us up at softspoken@gmail.com.
That's right. Eventually, we would like to have playtesters. So.
You are like the perfect person for Kickstarter because you know how to like way overpromise and then underdeliver. If you deliver at all.
That is perfectly true.
But what about you, Tori? What'd you get up to this week?
Wow. I probably got into the exact opposite of what Slipknot and Killswitch Engage would be.
And shots of tequila.
And shots of tequila. Yeah, I started on a new video game.
Oh, nice. Wasteland 4.
Wasteland. Oh, I wish. This is Kataria Fables is what I'm playing now. Oh yeah, you say oh yeah. You ever hear of this?
I feel like I have.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's about, but I've seen the name, I think.
Okay. Oh, it's cutesy as shit. I mean, it'll just rot your teeth from the inside
It's not
out.
what I'm thinking of.
You play a character who's like a cat, who's like a house cat, and the mayor of the town is a goat. You know, it's very like Animal Crossing, super cute.
Not what I was thinking of.
Yeah,
in any case.
it's about the antithesis, I think, of what Slipknot represents.
I would think there's probably more crossover than you would suspect.
Oh, is that so?
Yes.
Oh, I'll be damned.
I think a lot of, there was that particular crowd would not have given you that appearance.
Huh.
So, interesting characters.
I'm certain that's what it sounds like. But yeah, so I'm getting into this game, man. It's cute. It's hella relaxing, and
it's not a whodunit mystery?
No, nothing like that. No. It's very slow-paced, my kind of game. No real thinking, you know.
Perfect.
Yeah. So that's the kind of stuff.
Well, that it has in common with Slipknot concerts.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fair.
I went there with a few friends, and the one of them, it was funny. It was just me and him in the pits. The rest of the guys didn't want to go in the pit, but I'm still pretending to myself that I'm young, so I was going out in the pit, and he had his phone in his pocket and got his phone knocked out of his pocket. Was lost for like 10 minutes, of course, in the dark. Damn. And eventually, some bro was like holding it up with his flashlight on, and got it back to him by the grace of God. We thought it was gone for sure. Not even smashed, not stepped on or anything. Seemed like it survived pretty well, and it was not. I think maybe 15 minutes later, he lost it again.
Oh,
and got it back again. So
yeah,
in the dark at his Slipknot concert in a mosh pit, he managed to find his phone twice. So pretty impressive.
Unreal.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, it doesn't sound... That just defies all logic of what I imagine a mosh pit would be. I've never actually been in one, so...
Oh, you should come to the next Slipknot concert.
There you go.
Pass.
I'm still a horse, I feel like.
That'll probably aggravate your uvulatus.
Oh, your uvulatus will be flaring up hardcore. Not to mention the, what I pay, $18 for a beer or something like that? $16.
Yeah,
that was $30 to get in.
That would kill me right off the bat.
Yeah, it was $30 to get in, but then they slap you with them beer charges. I think a hot dog was $6, I think. Pretty, quote unquote reasonable compared to the beer.
Yeah.
I know if you wanted a cheesesteak, I think it was like $12 or $13 or something like that. Pretty crazy. But they did have some nice shitters, I will say that. The porta potties there were buenissimo.
Wowee. Did you take your hot dog in there to eat?
I sat in there for most of the concert. It was just so comfortable. I was like, I'm just going to post up here, dudes,
Yeah.
Ran between there and the mosh pit all night.
I'm going to enjoy Slipknot in the comfort of my own porta potty.
Was it those porta potty trailers? Was it like actually like trailer with stalls and everything?
There was like a big wall of them. But it was like that. It had like the flush. It had like the nice... semi-bathroom-esque interior, toilet paper and stuff. So, pretty legit. The flush thing's the nice part.
Yeah.
Of course, they still get trashed just the same by the end of the night, but they clean them up really well. Beginning of the night, they were great.
Now, was that Stage AE, right? Or?
No, that was actually out in Burgettstown at Star Lake Pavilion.
Oh.
Yeah.
You actually said that, I think, didn't you?
Out in the woods.
That is.
Yeah, out in close to West Virginia for the non-Pittsburgh local listeners.
A lot of Pittsburghers have fond memories of Star Lake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Changed names a million times, just like every other venue around here.
Yeah, the only thing that was kind of a bummer, and I think this is just, par for the course for concerts, was that it take us so fucking long to get out of the parking lot at the end,
Oh, yeah, that's every big event, sure.
Right. And it was raining slightly, so we got kind of grimy and greasy, and we're all slamming up against each other, so I had to come home and wash off all the mud and rain and my sweat and other people's sweat and whatever other bodily fluids got rubbed up on me, from the mosh pit.
Like the way you worded that, I immediately had what's that? Super Bad? Is that?
I don't know. What are you trying to
comedy movie?
What are you making?
Young guys trying to get liquor. That Super Bad, the movie?
What are you talking about?
That's like the whole hinge on the plot there.
Spit it out,
Is that Super Bad?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one gets... Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's at the party, and then he gets bodily fluids on him. The way Adam worded that.
Bodily fluids. People were not ejaculating on the air. Not that I'm aware of, at least.
Not that he's aware of,
It's not that kind of mosh pit. Although there were some weirdos in there, which I think pretty much goes without saying.
Oh, I bet.
The normal ones are the harder to find. But without further ado, we've got a lot to cover tonight. We've got a trifecta of trouble for you listeners, and especially for Eric's intestinal tract. Because tonight we're going to be trying not one, not two, but 3 cheese sauces. And I think we all brought one of these, actually, by coincidence.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and we'll read out the ones that we brought.
I honestly thought you were going with a triple bypass, Adam. We all need triple bypasses after trying these sauces.
That's coming next, yeah. But I'll go first here, and this was another special treat from my dad. And I think this was a birthday present that he gave to me pretty recently, but it was a little bit delayed because I didn't see him for a little while after my birthday. But old Dadaroo, another sauce from him, load me up with a freebie here. He gave me great value cheddar cheese wow. And this is I think what the listeners may be more familiar with is like a spray cheese type of thing, but this is Great Value brand, and that's their particular sub-brand is the Cheese Wow, as opposed to Cheese Whiz.
Wow.
What'd you bring for us tonight, Eric?
I actually brought this to a non-sauce spoken intent anyways. I brought this to just, regular old game night. We were all getting together, and I forget what meal we were having. Probably something along the line of tacos or something.
I don't know. I thought that was the night that we were having like barbecue or something. That's what I was trying to remember why you would have brought that. We had another cheese sauce, though, too, didn't we?
We did, yeah. We ended up having 2 cheese sauces. So.
I don't remember what that was, though.
Sloppy Joe's? No.
Oh, chili cheese dogs. That's what
Chili
it was.
cheese dogs.
Yep.
Chili cheese dogs.
Anyway, so I brought this to that get-together, and we decided that we were going to hold on to this one for sauce spoken instead of
we already had like 3 or 4 cheeses there, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that the deal? We had like a cheese sauce of some sort and a shredded cheese.
There was shredded cheese and a cheese sauce besides this cheese sauce,
right.
So there was enough cheese.
Well, you remember what the other cheese sauce was? That one was a really good one, too. I know we all enjoyed that. Minus your wife.
I think I brought it, too. I can't remember what it was.
Definitely, yeah. That's okay.
Anyways, so what I have in front of me here is Old El Paso creamy queso sauce. And it's the mild brand or mild version of this. Variety, yes.
And it's got your favorite, well, I would say we're getting into a bottle description a little bit, but it's got your favorite little diagram on the front.
It does.
That you rage. It was... threw it through the wall when you saw it. You said, "Me don't like it when they tell me."
When they tell me what kind of spice, when they put up the stupid... They say it's mild, but then they also put on, 3 peppers, and it's a 1 out of 3. So I guess it's 33% of what you expect hot to be.
Oh, I think Ghost Paul's going to have to make an appearance tonight. What about you, Tori? What'd you bring for us tonight?
Oh, yeah. I brought back an old fan favorite of ours. This is Rico's. Rico's Queso Blanco. The sister product to the nacho cheese that we had. And did it win the Dapper Dipper Award?
No.
Okay.
We My A Mustard, which I wasn't able to deliver there.
That's right.
Yeah, we should have given it to Rico's as a backup because I probably could have sent it to them.
Yeah, but this was, nonetheless, Rico's was a nominee. And not to get too much into bottle description, but it's very similar. But yeah, so here we have Queso Blanco in a can, courtesy of the Dollar General. Wonderful establishment.
So we've got a lot here to try, and I think the interesting thing that I think we already suspected this, but what we confirmed by tasting these is that they are all cheese-based products, but they have a lot of similar characteristics in some ways, and that they're kind of like inexpensive semi-liquid cheeses. But there's enough of a difference there that this isn't really like a competition, they're not in direct comparison to each other. I think they're each kind of like achieving a different thing.
No question.
Absolutely.
I agree entirely. They're all unique in their own way, and I think, in even terms of their own application, there's some crossover, but you can definitely make the argument that Cheese Wow would be better suited elsewhere. At least I will.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yes.
Dive right in there, why don't you?
Yeah.
They're also very different, I think, in price, too. I don't know what Cheese Wow comes in at. I know what you paid for Rico's.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know what I paid for
bargain.
You think they're
Old
different
El
in price
Paso.
or similar?
Different. I mean,
really?
Yeah, this was over $4.
Oh, damn.
Wolf.
Yeah.
Jeez, yeah, the old El Paso is over $4.
I think it was $4.40.
Holy moly.
I don't know for sure, but I am certain that this Cheese Wow costs no more than $1.99 per can.
And then the Rico's
I think that's pushing
around $1 or less than $1, right? That week Rico's is less than
it
$1.
was like $1. Yeah, with tax, $1.07, $1.10.
All right, very cool. And I think it does bear mentioning for the listeners that we tried these on only some Clancy tortilla chips. Why are you chuckling, Eric?
Because Clancy's like
Aldi brand.
Absolutely,
cheapo.
Aldi.
Yeah, cheapo.
Clancy.
And we're normally so luxurious here.
We are quite luxurious.
The listeners will judge us for buying off-brand potato or tortilla chips.
I'm sure the listeners judge us for other things.
Well, I certainly hope they do, because if they don't, then their taste is even more questionable than ours is. I know I make you guys. So sometimes even I go too far. But without a further ado, let's go ahead and get on to the visual description of the sauces that we're looking at tonight. In the name of consistency, I'm going to go ahead and lead us off here first. First things first, it's in a metal can. It's an aerosolized can with your typical little nozzle on top. There's a bright yellow cap on top that you pop off, and there's your typical little white nipple on top of the bottle that you push to the side to ejaculate the cheese onto your chips. And it's kind of a little weird thing on it, and I don't know why they do it like that, but it's basically like at the end of it, instead of being just a round nozzle, there's like little fingers on the end of it. There's like 4 little fingies on the end of it for some reason.
Yeah, it's like when you're decorating a cake, so you get that nice pattern.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Is that okay?
Yeah.
That makes sense. I didn't know that was why. So you get the pattern on there. But the one thing I know is that when you're eating this stuff and you let it sit, what you do is you just let it sit there with a little dollop of cheese stuck in those fingers. You let that dry up, and then when you're ready to have some more, you just pluck the little hardened cheese plug off of that thing. And,
exactly. I was going to ask if you did that or you cleaned it off
some
right
more.
there.
Nope. I leave it like that, and I pluck the top.
Nice.
I got a little cheesy pimple I pop off of there, and I squirt it in my mouth. But the rest of the container is, like I said, it's a relatively small aerosol container. It says 8 ounces on here. It's a beautiful golden orange color that I just love. A really charming choice for color. And
I think it's trying to like emulate that cheddar, right?
Maybe. It's a little bit more orangey than the cheddar is, but it's got a little white swoop on the front where it says the cheddar cheese wow, and a little slice of cheese right there under it, and on top of that is the blue Great Value logo. And then emblazoned directly on the front of there, you've got a little Ritz Crackerman with some dark black glasses, much of the type that I wear, a little mustache on it, some angry eyebrows, and 2 little cheesy eyeballs. And then that's pretty much it for the label. On the rest of that, there's your nutrition facts, a barcode, and ingredients. And other than that, that pretty much covers it for label design on this one. But what about you, Eric?
All right, I've got a very cylindrical plastic squeeze bottle. I'd say it's about 1.5 inches in diameter, maybe 1 3/4.
Convert that to metric for the listeners.
What would that be? About 32 millimeters or so.
Very good.
Wow, that's impressive.
It's really not. It's pretty basic.
It's pretty basic, Tori, if you're not a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I just don't care enough. I don't know. I mean,
Tori, you giant dumb.
So my cheese sauce here is 9 ounces, which is 255 grams. I just read that right off of there.
Oh.
And
not a live conversion.
Not a live conversion, that's right. It says Old El Paso, which their logo is interesting. It's got a like tiles, like the ceramic tile roof. Terracotta, thank you.
Big brain time.
Yep, got it.
And then it says Old El Paso with a yellow background. The Old El Paso is in like a dark reddish kind of text, but it also has like, I don't know, weird blotchiness to it, kind of like darker spots on it, which is weird. It says established 1938. It has like a little picture of like a, I'm going to screw that up too, was a plateau, right? The little mountain with the flat top on it. A mesa. Ooh, I'm butchering it all left and right.
Plateau is also accurate. They're both like, mesa is like a big one, I think, and a plateau is more like a smaller like mountain that's just chopped off on top.
Gotcha.
So you might be right. We can do a fact check on that. I'm taking a hard stance on it. Mesa's a big one. Plateau's a small one.
Okay. And it says creamy queso sauce. And it has, like I said, the mild. And it says do not microwave in bottle, at least. So I guess you can't microwave
it's too late.
And it's got a picture of like a taco bowl on it with the cheese squeezed on it. And it says taco night made easy. No mess cap, no spills. It has one of those, I guess it does. It has one of those silicone no mess buttholes that Adam hates.
Make me rage.
I
much prefer the little fingered nipple on top of the cheese wow.
That you can pick off later.
Yeah.
Oh, fun. And
it's true, though. It's very true.
Bright yellow. I think my label on the background label color of my sauce is about the same bright fluorescent yellow as your cap.
Yeah, it's almost brighter, I think. Yeah, yours is actually brighter than this. Slightly. Like a shade or so.
So, that's kind of interesting. I thought your cap was weird to have such a bright cap and then like a gold orangey. You think it'd like, they almost like compete when you have that close of yellows, like 2 distinct yellows.
It ain't bothering me. It's fine. I think it's hard to match the exact color, so I think they went for a little contrast instead of trying to match it exactly and missing.
True. No, that's true.
Yeah, I know. Tori,
I just would have gone black or blue or something.
Back in black!
Way, way more contrasting than like, oh yeah, another yellow. Like not even trying to be the same yellow.
Blue?
Yeah, it's great value.
I mean,
their logo's blue.
Yeah, I could see blue looking good on that. Get your shit together, Walmart, you pieces of shit. But speaking of blue, why don't you hit us with your can there, Torrance?
Oh, certainly. Yeah, here we have a returning favorite. Of course, I mentioned before, Rico's in a can. It's predominantly a blue can, and it's Queso Blanco in that font that we like so much that we've seen before. And then for us layman's, underneath it says white cheese sauce. Thank you, Rico. Underneath that, it looks to be like a enchilada, possibly. It's hard to tell the protein, but there's a pair of what looks like enchiladas. And of course, liberally with the cheese. We got tons of cheese. We got cheese on the inside and the outside of those two beautiful enchiladas in pure Rico's fashion, true to form. They have a recipe there on the side. Now, this is quesadillas, mind you, not those delicious enchiladas on the front. And we have some preparation instructions. They tell you to take it out of the can before putting it in the microwave, believe it or not.
Big brain time.
Write that one down. And, of course, refrigerate after opening. But after inspection, it sort of has a lard quality to it. Now, this is cold, mind you. Yeah, I think it has like a scoopable sort of shortening
some bacon grease.
Yeah, look to it that I don't know, really isn't compelling. But once you heat it up the way, and we'll get into that shortly. But wow, it's a real treat. So yeah, so there you have Rico's in a can, and I forgot to mention, but around the top is that big top shingle, red and yellow that we like, which
the awning look.
Yeah, it has that
circus awning.
Circus, yeah. I was going to say, if you don't mention that, like, what the heck? That's Rico's. That's classic.
That is. But yeah, I mean, yeah, and right. I mean, so speaking of classic, the barcode is what that, the Alamo that we talked about before. Yeah, I mean, this is all old hat, discoveries on the first Rico's. But yeah, it's Rico's nonetheless. So there you have it.
I'm going to go ahead and we'll move right on to the visual description of the sauces inside the bottle. And the other one thing I wanted to point out before I do that on this great value is, I always find it fascinating. They have the little black rubber butthole on the bottom of these spray cans. I assume that's to cap the propellant or whatever in there. But I always thought that was kind of interesting to touch the little rubberized butthole in there.
A bung hole, yes.
Do you think that's how they fill them? Maybe the cheese goes in from the bottom?
Cheese goes in, cheese goes out. Can't explain that. But anyways,
Beyond me.
When you ejaculate this cheese onto a cracker or a chip as you were, or perhaps a cheese steak, it has a very pale orangey yellow appearance, very monotone, no flake, no nothing like that. And as you had mentioned, it sits there in kind of like a firm little puddle, like a really thick pudding almost. And the little fingered nipple on top there does give it a pleasing striations in its appearance.
Indeed.
You can make little decorative dollops on top of things.
Yes.
But other than that, for appearance-wise, I can't really see through this thing. I've never cut one of these cans open to understand the mechanism or anything. But so all you get is what squirts out, and that's all I can describe for you. And that's not a lot to it. So that's what it is. What about you, Eric?
Almost waxy, I would say. Yours has I noticed when I put it on my cracker, it had like a sheen to it.
I think it's 90% wax of the ingredients.
Okay.
I didn't get there yet, but yeah.
So my queso, the old El Paso, it's got a little bit of a reveal on the top and bottom of the label, and you can see that it is a very pale orange creamy color. It's not quite Adam's favorite color, I would say. It's a little light, on the light side.
A little light.
But then it also has
ballpark.
Quite a lot of speckles of seasonings, I would guess, throughout it. Probably something a little spicy.
Are you seeing the color of the sauce? Because I think that bottle might be a little hazy.
The bottle is a little hazy. That is true. You know what? I should look inside.
I got some in a cup here. I'm not certain your description is accurate.
Yeah, Eric, you piece of shit.
All right. Looking in the cups, it is a more... Yes, it's not quite as pale. It actually maybe does come closer to Adam's favorite color of orange. It's still not like what I'd call bright, though. And actually, this one, now that I see it in the cup, has that same kind of waxy sheen to it. I guess that's just part of being a cheese. I don't know.
I think that's a hallmark of a cheese being semi-liquid at room
liquidized,
temperature.
Yeah. Yes, I think you're spot on with that. Yeah, there's some chemical science there going on. We'll have to get a chemical engineer on here to tell us what the deal is.
There you go.
Soy lecithin and xanthan gum.
Right? Oh, for sure.
We haven't had that one in a while.
No.
Soy lecithin?
Bang bangs.
Oh, I thought we had some xanthan gum.
Oh,
I guess, the last one we had all those oils and vinegar, balsamic vinegar stuff.
All natural ingredients, bunch of posers.
Right?
Give us the spray cheese, motherfucker!
We need all that artificial shit. I don't know. Yeah, it looks just like you would picture maybe the same as like a nacho cheese, like a stand, like the pump, pumped out, pretty much that color.
At the ball game.
The
ball game, there you go.
The squirt tubes. Tori, what about you? Give us a little visual description on the Ricos.
Yeah, I feel as if I sort of hit on it already, but I think the best way to describe this is the bacon grease lard approach.
Or frosting was the other
frosting, yeah.
Cake frosting.
It certainly maintains the contour of the spoon. Looking at it here several minutes after it has been scooped, I can certainly tell you where that spoon has been, given the contours of the cheese and what's missing. So I'm playing a super sleuth on you here.
Now, I do think it bears mentioning, and this sauce, when you put it in the microwave for a couple minutes, it does tend to transmogrify into a slightly different appearance, and we happen to have that here for your viewing pleasure as well. Tori, you want to give listeners a description on that after you overcook it in the Alexa microwave?
Yeah, after you overcook it, it has sort of a crispy on the edge grilled cheese type of look to it. You know, your classic cheese as it caramelizes, right? That's the right word.
Sure,
absolutely.
Yeah, and it has it's a Queso Blanco. Once it's heated up, it's far more loose, maybe in a way to describe it. And of course heat will do that to almost anything. Will certainly do it to me. But
all right.
How you like that? That was a sauna gag for those paying really close
I got
attention.
that. Yeah. It sounds like it makes you have to take a shit, though, is why. Loosens me right up. I go in the sauna, next thing you know, I'm blasting off.
Yeah. Me and Jamie Lee Curtis take Activia for that reason.
All I got to do is just take the cheese.
I do think, though, it's interesting about the point about it heating up and kind of getting that crispy brown on there. When they serve you the Queso Blanco in a restaurant, it does look just like that. They kind of burn it on the top,
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's intentional.
I think, who knows? Yeah.
They put the brownifier in it.
The brownifier, but boy, yeah, you get a scoop of Clancy's in with some Ricos, you got a match made in heaven. Like it.
Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and we're going to have to be really to the point on this podcast, and I'm really not liking this. Normally we go off on more tangents by now, but we're sticking kind of to the point because we've got a lot of ground to cover here. But I do want to move on to the initial tasting notes. So I've been keeping in tradition here. I'll start off with the cheddar cheese wow. And like I had mentioned, most of what you're getting from this is nothing about this is real. Like there's probably some real cheese in there just for them to be able to put cheese on the label. But other than that, there's really no real cheese taste in this. And like I said, it's almost more akin to just like a yellow pudding that you're putting on stuff. And and it has a vaguely dairy-esque taste to it. That's what I'll say at most. It's not there's no spice to it whatsoever. There's no there's none of that like kind of umami taste. It is a little bit salt flavored, but really this is the cheese in the loosest definition. And I will say there's really not a whole lot of flavor there to describe for it. Eric, what'd you think about the cheese wow? Anything there?
Well, I have to 100% agree with you. It had definitely a saltiness to it. And I thought the way it came out and scalloped there with a little like decorative squirt on the chip was almost a turn off.
What?
I didn't care for it.
I like it.
But upon eating it, I did feel like it had a little bit of cheddar flavor. I could understand where they were kind of going with it, but it did taste several layers down. It was sort of buried, a little more waxy,
very
oily.
Subtle, yeah,
it was subtle. So
it tastes artificial.
Yes.
I like it, but it doesn't taste. It tastes synthetic. What do you think about it, Tori?
Well, I like cheese in a can. So right off the bat, I'm going to tell you I liked it. I thought it was misserved on a chip.
Yeah.
And I
bad job, Eric.
That's okay.
A hot dog or something.
Well, I was a Ritz cracker, maybe a nice hard pretzel or a pretzel stick.
Oh yeah.
In terms of snack items, a home run. I don't care what anyone says. Don't at me on this, but cheesesteaks, dude. There is no finer application.
Yeah, I want to disagree with you just from a principle perspective, but it is straight good.
Yeah,
I do like them
good. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care. You can,
yeah, pretty
kick
much
rocks, bro.
Yep, pretty much any day of the week. I'm on board with you there.
Yeah. So, I mean, I did think that was a bit of a misstep, but that's not the cheese's fault. Certainly not the cheese's fault. And despite the saltiness on the chip, I thought, it was subtle, but I do think that was a function of the overwhelming salt on the chip. Not to say a pretzel isn't salty, but it's a different type of salt, man.
Yeah, I agree. And there's more meat in the pretzel than there is to the chips, I think. I think that helps, kind of play it down a little bit.
I wish you guys had said something because I have pretzels here. I even have crackers here.
Oh, you do? Really? No shit.
Fire me up, dude. I didn't have dinner.
Fire me up.
Well, I mean, I'm not really jagging now that you're up, but now that you're up, a live on-air tasting of cold Rico and see what it do.
Oh, soft pretzels, homie. I thought, oh wait, you got those.
Hard. Oh, they're good. That's good.
No, fucking whack. I like, those I do like. Daddy like those flip sides. Actually, let me get a couple of them flip sides. I'm gonna throw some spray cheese on them.
Oh yeah,
that's a big dip. Let's see how I'll be regretting it later. The cheese.
I will say this is the first episode we're at, maybe one of the first, possibly the only episodes where we legitimately just had to stop in the middle of the show, just for the purpose to gorge ourselves more on this shit. I mean, truly no other purpose, just to slam on more of this shit. But now that we're done with that, Eric, do you want to hit us with your tasting notes on the creamy queso sauce? Start us off with that from old El Paso.
Certainly. I think, not giving away my exact numbers here, but this is probably the winner for me. I think, maybe
spoiler
price.
alert for the listeners.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Maybe price has a little bit of something to do with that, or, you're paying for something a little bit better, but also it has that spiciness to it, which I really enjoy. I like that extra kick in the flavor. It wasn't too spicy at all, nowhere even close, being that it's mild, only a 1 pepper out of 3.
1/3 of a pepper out of an entire pepper, which is chopped into 3 sections. Please get it right.
Oh, is it really?
Or no?
Oh. No, Tori, don't do that. That's not right.
He made me question it for a second. I was like, wait, was that really? Did I have that wrong?
Whoops.
All right. No, it's good. It was like exactly how you would picture a queso cheese being. It was very creamy, had a little bit of spice to it. It was easy squirt out of the bottle. I don't know. It was good. It was really tasty. What did you think, Tori?
Easy squirt. Yeah, I liked it. I definitely liked it. I thought it was good. I thought it was your classic nacho cheese. I mean, yeah, you can't really lose. It's Old E, which, I mean, you can make the jokes from there as much as you'd like. Or you can reference it back to the malt liquor, which is one of my favorites, Old English. But, yeah. But yeah, man, I mean, I'm getting way off track here, but I thought the El Paso cheese was good. I like the delivery system. I think that's probably what the vast majority of that $6 went to. If I were a gambling man, that fancy packaging.
$6. Ooh.
Is that what you said, right? $6 for that bottle?
I said $12.
Oh. But hey, well, I mean, $4 still was a lot, but
yeah, compared to what other ones there.
Yeah, and for what you get in terms of volume.
Very true. This is, I think, the smallest, right?
How many ounces on that? No,
9.
I think mine was the smallest. The cheese, wow. I think it's only 8.
Oh, okay.
8.
You got to have all that room for compressed air or whatever I don't even know.
Right.
However it works. Like that magic that's in there.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I thought the delivery system was good. I mean, of course, you can't knock the cheese wow, but cheese wow doesn't belong on a nacho, but queso cheese sauce does. So, well done to Old E in that respect. And I liked it. That's, quintessential nacho cheese. Can't lose.
Well, probably also the most apropos for what we were trying them on, since we're trying them on tortilla chip.
That's Definitely. What he just fucking said, Eric. You piece of shit.
He said nachos. These aren't really nacho chips.
They're not nacho chips? What makes them
tortillas.
Not nacho chips? They're not yellow enough
They're
for
not
you?
yellow enough,
oh
yeah.
Oh, my God.
We're splitting hairs out here.
Okay.
Oh, anyways, yes, I'm spot on agreement with you. The Old El Paso, I think, is it's an ideal nacho cheese. I think it's maybe a little bit, I don't know, the texture was maybe a little bit different than, it wasn't quite as plasticky as some of the stuff you get like from the gas station. The flavor was quite similar. I like the heat level on this, and I think the heat level on this was more than the original Rico's nacho cheese we tried.
I think so.
That being said, for a cost perspective and I actually think I like the texture on the Rico's better. I think this is fine. It's a little bit on the loose side. I think if you heated it up, it would get a little bit too loose.
Yeah.
That was my only complaint about it. But other than that, flavor-wise, I really liked it a lot. I think it was good on the tortilla chips, whereas I think some of the rest of these shined more on... we had some hard pretzels, and we also had some flip sides, which are half pretzel and half cracker, which are my personal favorite cracker. And I think really banged with the cheese wow. But yeah, for me, that's all I had as far as tasting notes for that Old El Paso. So, Tori, do you want to hit us off with the Rico's? Your initial tasting thoughts on that?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. It was mild. I liked it hot and cold. I think that's worth mentioning. The directions specifically say we heat it, and we did, and it was good hot. But I couldn't help myself. I didn't eat dinner, and these chips are good, so I gave it a dip in the cold Rico's, and I was impressed as heck. I thought the cold lended itself to a bit of I don't want to say grittiness because that's bad, but it had a little bit of mouthfeel to it. Maybe not grit, but maybe a little bit of, I don't know, can't put it into a word, but good nonetheless, and mild and creamy and all the things you want a Queso Blanco to be. So I was thrilled, of course.
I tried the Rico's on a flip side, cold. I didn't care as much on the flip sides cold. I think I probably should have tried it on a tortilla cold. Not a nacho, Eric.
Not nacho. Nachos are corn chips, not a nacho. Tortilla.
Wow.
Not a nacho that I tried it on. I liked it warm quite a bit. The flavor was very subtle, and I actually think that heating it up helped to kind of bring out the flavor a little bit more, and also those little crusties on the side kind of were like little flavor bombs. I'm a big fan of the brown crusties there, so I think that kind of helped bring it out a little more. I would go so far as to say I would definitely recommend heating it up, even though it doesn't necessarily need to. That would be my recommendation. But very subtle flavor, kind of akin to the spray cheese in a way, but a different flavor, just the same like level of intensity, I think. I do think that the queso had a more, kind of like you get a typical Mexican queso cheese, the white cheese. I think, whereas the spray cheese definitely did have more cheddar type notes to it, but I would say it's definitely a similar level of intensity for them.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there, Adam. I think sorry, let me just jump right in there.
No, I was done. I'm laughing at your breathing.
So, I'd have to agree with you that the Queso Blanco was still a queso cheese. It still had more depth of flavor, maybe, I don't want to say spiciness to it, but it was definitely had better flavor, I feel like, than the Cheese Wow. And I get it, the Cheese Wows, they had more of a cheddar, they're going for that cheddar flavor, and I tasted subtle notes of cheddar in it. But no, that Rico's is delicious. I actually think the Rico's might be better than the old El Paso queso.
Wow.
For a meal. I can picture that in a Mexican meal being really, really good, really creamy, cheesy, just, excellent with the meal, whereas this old El Paso is it kind of stands more on its own. I'm not sure how much it's really necessary for, I get it for a taco night, maybe easy. But I don't know if I'd want to, a big, on a burrito or with a quesadilla or whatnot, a Mexican restaurant. It would just seem really kind of odd.
I think you nailed it.
I'm kind of with you there.
Yeah.
I also think the Queso Blanco would benefit from having a nice little pico de gallo with it, maybe. And yes. I think that the old El Paso, I would really like to try that most with some crinkle cut French fries. I think that would go delightfully. I love a good nacho cheese with some French fries.
Yeah, that would be good.
But before we get any further, let's go ahead and take a really quick glance at the website. Like I said, we've got a lot of material to get through here, so I don't want to dwell. And we've already seen the Rico's, and everyone's seen Great Value's website, Walmart.com. But let's just take a real quick blast here on the Rico's. They've got a picture of the Queso Blanco. Anything on there worth reading there?
I can read the whole thing if you wish.
Is there anything? I can't read it, so is there anything of interest there?
No, I don't think anything out of the ordinary. Cheese blend, so on and so forth.
Yeah, we kind of mentioned most of this stuff here. They've got their full cheese lineup. They've got the little dippy cups. The little pudding cups, comes in. They've also got boxes you can get for a dispenser. Some other cans.
Those are jars. They actually have glass jars.
They have some glass jars, I think for the bigger serving sizes. But there's a hot and spicy cheddar. I don't remember that one before.
Ooh, that sounds good.
That sounds good, yeah. And a premium cheddar.
Ooh, condensed.
Condensed cheddar, and then the gourmet nacho that we've had before. I don't remember seeing these before, actually. That's interesting. Condensed cheddar, premium cheddar, hot and spicy cheddar. I would try any of those.
What does condensed cheddar mean?
I don't know. I don't know if you're supposed to dilute it, like it's extra thick, like it's dummy thick or something.
Dummy thick cheddar.
I don't know. Maybe it's made for a dispenser, like 1 can per dispenser, and you dilute it with some...
Once mixed correctly with either water, pepper juice, or salsa. There you have it.
Oh, there you have it. Oh, so maybe that's for if you want to make, if you want to dilute it with the salsa, that's why. That makes sense. I kind of want to try it.
Sounds
just
good.
As is.
Dummy thick.
I'm imagining something that's more of a sour cream consistency where you can put a chunk of it on,
Oh, wow.
Well, I'm picturing even thicker than that. I'm thinking
Velveeta cheese.
Yes.
In a can?
In a can.
Like cranberry sauce. It just, just slurps out, yeah.
Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the old El Paso website here. They've got their creamy queso sauce. Queso sauce. Make any night a taco night with Old El Paso creamy queso sauce. Adds a bit of zing to your favorite toppings. So yeah, not a whole lot going on there.
I like their website, though. I think it's nice and clean. You can read it. There's not a whole lot going on.
It's true. It's
very clean, very non-busy, that's for sure.
I like that.
57 reviews on here, of which we are going to read probably none. Let's see if they have a low to... Oh, wait, here, let's sort by lowest rating. 5-star. Lowest rating's a 5-star.
That's highest to lowest.
Oh, highest to lowest. Okay.
Good call.
Good call. Thank you, Tori.
Gotcha.
A 2-star is the lowest, so that's pretty good. Okay, this is the lowest review on the website. Why don't you read us that, Tor?
I tried the Old El Paso creamy queso sauce. I will start out by saying it was a good concept that just didn't turn out well. The safety label was hard to pull off. When I did get it off, the queso splattered all over my shirt. Oh, Jesus what a disaster. Christ. The bottle is hard to squeeze, so when you did it, the queso would shoot out everywhere. The humanity. I like the concept of the squeeze bottle. I'll give you that. But it needs just a different type of bottle and lid. The taste itself tasted like mayonnaise. I myself do not like that flavor by myself. Given I did try it on our tortilla chips, and that was not good at all.
Not a nacho chip.
Not a nacho chip. He specifically says tortilla chip. I'm reading verbatim, by the way, with a couple of embellishments.
Perfect.
I know everyone's tastes are different, but for my, it was not a good fit.
I think it's interesting. You know what this reminds me of? You ever watch those like infomercials when they're trying to open like a 2 liter of soda and they like, they're really wrenching on it, and then all of a sudden they break it and it's like, whoa! Yeah. It's flying everywhere, it's spewing out of the top, and they're juggling it in their hands, and they're like, what's going everywhere?
Rolling around in a Coca-Cola mess on the kitchen floor.
They fall, they break their spinal cord, their husband comes home, he falls and breaks his spinal cord too. Whole family's dead in the kitchen because of the 2 liter. That's what this reminds me of, is that like, it's so hard to pull the safety seal off of him, and then it just squirted everywhere.
I mean, and since when is the safety seal? Is that the cheese's fault?
I thought it was a perfectly standard one. Like, I peeled it off without any difficulty. Certainly easier than a lot of other ones I've done. So I'm like, these people, and no offense to...
he received the free product because he bitched and moaned.
Holy fuck.
How about that?
Maybe we should complain and moan more often.
Sponsor the show via bitching
Actually,
and moaning.
I think sometimes that means they send it out for like in advance, like not an afterwards. Like they send it out to get a review.
I thought they sent it out after to sweeten them up a little bit.
Right.
Here's more cheese that you don't like.
Yeah, here's more cheese you don't like. You could have sent it to us because we did like.
Yeah, please send more.
Especially for $4 or whatever the fuck you said you paid for it, Eric.
Yeah, almost $4.50. It was $4.40.
The price changes every time we've asked them. Let's swing over to the Great Value here. Oh wow, I'm actually really surprised. It says on the Great Value website, Walmart.com. Please sponsor us. Says $2.57.
Wow, that sounds really high.
Inflation is real.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. Can you believe that shit? You used to be able to buy this shit for like,
Something like $1.40.
A dime. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was gonna say, you feel like you used to be able to go to literally any dollar store and get this for 99 cents. That's pretty crazy.
Not nearly the quality of Cheese Wow, though, mind you.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. I think this was a pretty good one as far as spray cheeses go. Yeah, nothing on the interesting on the website at all. It's Walmart. They're just giving you the bare bones, the minimum they can do to make you buy their shitty Cheese Wow. But, so not a lot going on with these websites, but I think we kind of covered the important bases anyways. Without further ado, I'd like us to get on to Eric's favorite segment of the show.
Oh.
Why do you say?
Why is it surprising? I don't know.
Yeah, why is it surprising? Literally every time. Oh, again? This episode? The 57th time in a row?
I always find it surprising.
Ingredients!
I think it's your guys' favorite part of the show, not mine. I always find it funny. I guess I should start off with the Cheese Wow.
You want to do them all? I was going to stick with that. I thought I would give you a break because I know you struggle so much with reading the ingredients.
And there's going to be a whole lot of chemicals in these, so...
Yeah, I thought these might be kind of tricky, so I thought I would do you a nice one, and I'd just go ahead and we'll each read our own. So
that's cool.
I'll start off again with the Cheese Wow, the spray Cheese Wow. It says, first ingredient is whey. I think is interesting. This might be loaded with protein, Tori.
Oh, wow.
Followed by cheddar cheese, soybean oil, whey protein concentrate, sodium phosphate, and contains 2% or less of the following: salt, carrageenan, sodium citrate, which I think sodium citrate is like an emulsifier to help it get that smooth, plasticky flavor that we all want. Natural flavor, gluconodelta-lactone, lactic acid, sorbic acid, a preservative. Yellow number 5 and yellow number 6 contains milk. What about you, Eric? It does say on here, no refrigeration needed.
Nice. We like that.
Wow, that's interesting. I would have thought once you started using it, you'd have to refrigerate it.
Once you pop, the fun can stop and not be refrigerated.
Very cool. All right.
But you won't want to. Hit us, Eric, with the Old El Paso ingredients.
Old El Paso. We have water, canola oil, maltodextrin, cornstarch, whey protein concentrate, cheddar cheese, jalapeno pepper puree, and
Tori and I have our guns out.
We're ready. We're drawn.
Contains 2% or less of salt, natural flavor, sugar, enzyme modified egg yolks, spice, yellow corn flour, garlic, onion, powder, garlic, arnion powder, citric acid. Shut up. Dextrose, yeast extract, xanthan gum.
Yeah!
Yeah, got him.
Gum arabic.
Arabian Nights.
Yeah. Arabic.
I've seen that before. I don't know what that is.
Huh. And lactic acid and disodium EDTA. It even has Eric Dicks in it. This contains egg and milk ingredients.
Nice. Getting lit. After reading this, there is one other thing I want to come back to as soon as we're done with the ingredients on the label here. So,
and mine does need refrigerated.
Okay. Tori, hit us with the Ricos.
Sure. We have water, skim milk, cheddar cheese. Oh, boy. Let's see here. Annatto.
Talked about that before.
Yeah, we have.
That was in the other Ricos, I think.
I think so, yeah. Salt, enzymes, modified cornstarch, canola oil, or soybean oil, or sunflower oil. It's troubling that they don't know which one.
Yeah. Something got in there.
Some sort of oil.
Yeah,
we don't know. A mistake in the factory. Guess the oil.
So this, I mean, we're rounding out here. I mean, that's the vast majority. Everything else contains less of the following. And that is this is hard to read. Salt, sodium phosphate, sodium hexamosphate. Oh.
Hexachromium.
Yeah, cellulose gum.
Chromium.
Holy.
It's a good shit right there.
Yeah.
Lactic acid, natural flavors. That's as far as I'm going to go. Cultured cream, beta carotene. Ooh, rhyme time at the very end. And finally, it contains milk. So there you go.
All right.
And so I know all these contain like milk products / whey / whatever. And I just want to touch really quick on hit us with your serving size and also the amount of protein in this. Mine is 2 tablespoons. There's 7 servings in the container, and there's 4 grams of protein per serving. What about you, Eric?
So mine is 1 tablespoon per serving, and there's protein. 0.
Really?
0 grams. Not a significant source of vitamin D, calcium, or potassium.
What about you, Tori?
Wow. I took a look at this before, and I was blown away. This is basically a health food.
Right.
Get a load of this. Serving size. 1/4 cup, dude.
Holy fuck.
Wow.
Yeah, you are slamming this down.
Slam.
For 80 calories, 1/4 cup of this stuff.
2 tablespoons of this cheese stuff is 90 calories.
My man, this looks like what they scooped out of some dude's heart who's dead. It's like a direct injection.
That is what clogs your arteries right there directly.
I mean, for 80 calories.
That's actually pretty good.
That's incredible.
A quarter
really
cup.
Good.
Yeah.
And there's 3 grams of protein to boot. So there you go. Health food. I'm going to eat this and go to the dang gym.
I was going to say, you could slam on the gym with these things and just bulk the hell up. Can you imagine going to the gym and some guy just spraying spray cheese in his mouth?
Yeah. This is what a big wooden spoon.
Yeah.
Or like a silicone spatula trying to get every molecule out of there.
We may have to go try to like film a viral video, like doing squats and you're like doing spray cheese in my mouth.
Oh, goodness.
I really think we should do that. Let's go down to Ryan's gym.
Go to Jelly's Fitness and embarrass ourselves.
Get a 1-day fast pass. Yeah, and I'll have spray cheese, I'll do squats, and I'll probably shit my pants live on air.
No doubt. Yeah.
That will go viral in a heartbeat. Neat. Well, that's pretty interesting. I think this has been an informative episode and a pretty information-dense one, I think. Whether or not that's useful or good information is up to the listener to decide.
Yeah, boy, jury's still out on that one.
I think the least healthy and most chemical is the old El Paso
and the most
here.
expensive.
And most expensive. I paid a lot of money for all those chemicals. Huh.
So, actually, the spray cheese had a surprising lack of chemical in it, which I thought was interesting. And they don't list the propellant on there, which is also interesting. But without further ado, I think it's time we got on to the ratings portion of the show. So let's go ahead and we'll do the same order we've been doing for the consistency for the listeners. And we'll start off with the cheddar cheese. Wow. And I'll give my rating for this first. I think that this was actually better than I expected. It's a present from my dad, so I'm going to give it a half discretionary point for that. I really, really enjoyed this. Not as much on the white round tortilla chips. I'm much more of a nacho chip fan, personally. I like them yellow boys,
like them
the
corn
yellow
chips.
rounds.
Yeah.
I don't know is there a difference in taste?
Yeah, there is a huge
I think
difference.
they put more salt in the corn ones, which is why I like them. But I really like this on the flip sides, and I love those flip sides. The flip sides on their own are like a 9 out of 10. And they're only improved by the addition of great value. So I think for me, great value, cheese wow, especially on a pretzel, a flip side pretzel cracker. 8. That's where I'm going around with this. What do you think, Eric, for the cheese wow?
All right, the cheese wow was not my favorite of these three, but standing alone on its own, like I said, we're not comparing them. We're not supposed to be comparing them. How does it stand on its own? I did taste at least notes of cheddar, so they are advertising correctly. It's convenient. Easy to store. You don't have to put it in the refrigerator. You can just keep it on the shelf, throw it in your backpack, take it with you to school or the gym, apparently.
pluck the cheese pimple off the top and go to town.
And go to
take
town.
it to the movie theater.
Cheese pimples, not something I'm aware of.
Take it to the gym, do some squats, tuck it in your gym bag. You don't need to refrigerate it.
I think I'm going to have to give it a 6 because you know what? It really is beyond my expectations. I was thinking it would come in a lot lower when I saw that on the table. I was like, what the? Why? Why did that even make the appearance here? We had plenty of cheeses already, but the third one to the party.
It's a 3-cheese blend, bro.
It turned out to be a trifecta of fun. So
we got orange, yellow, and white. A 3-cheese blend for the ages.
3 is where 6 is where I'm going with.
What about you, Tori? Hit us with that cheese wow rating.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, I like the cheese wow. And I liked it even more after the halftime binge session we did with these flip sides and these other various little pretzel sticks, which were delicious. And in all honesty, I think the cheese wow, I mean, it wasn't bad with the Clancy's nacho / tortilla, whatever the hell you want to call them, chips, But I thought they were good. I mean, cheese wow's good. It's good. I like it.
It's good.
I'm going to give it a 9.
Nice!
Because I like it. And it's good. And it's a 9.
It's a solid rating for it. And that's just the first of more to come.
Yeah. There you have it.
Insert commercial.
Thanks for listening. Check out Great Value's website. Check out their proprietary cheese wow, formulated specifically from chemicals and whey, coming soon to a Great Value near you. Now back to the show. But go ahead and hit us there. Go ahead and hit us next with the old El Paso queso sauce there, Eric. What's your rating on that?
All right. And I know I said that this was probably going to be my top one. And I don't know. After reading the ingredients, I'm starting to get a little queasy to my stomach now.
It has nothing to do with your lactose intolerance.
Might have something to do with that, too.
Chemical intolerance, too.
I did take my cheese pills, though, so you guys were witnesses.
You said you took them for dinner and before this happened. You're taking lots. You're loading on cheese pills.
Loading up.
Popping them like Dr. House pops Vicodin.
Unfortunately, they just don't really work as well as they advertise, so anyways.
Doesn't slow you down.
That's why you take a million.
Doesn't slow me down, that's right.
Doesn't slow your bowels down either.
Eating cheese all the time. No, I really...
Eating cheese and making the squeeze. Squeezing on the toilet, that is.
Wow. For sharing. All right. I think this is a tasty, nacho cheese. It's creamy. It's exactly as it advertised. It's got a little bit of spice, and honestly, I don't like that they try to put a 1 out of 3 rating on there, but I would say that's probably almost where I'd put it. I think Adam made the comment earlier that he thought it was a little bit more spicy than the Rico's, which I think was like a 1 or 2 out of 5 peppers or something like that to make it even more confusing. Anyways,
even more confusing.
Yeah. Ultimately,
it's so hard!
Does this hit mild in my mind? Sure. For me, it kind of does. It had a nice level of spice, I thought. So, I don't think we need to do a heat rating, guys?
I don't strongly feel that we do. It's up to you.
I know we did on the Rico's, but
we
said it's a little bit more spicy than Rico's. Refer to Rico's spices.
I don't think Rico's at least doesn't have the pepper like the nacho cheese did.
The first one did. Yeah,
the first one did, but this one does not.
Right. Yeah, we were alluding to the original Rico's tasting. We did a heat level on that. So if you want to get an idea of where this one's heat level is, please refer to that episode. And that being said, I'm going to
what episode number is that? Quick fire.
31. No,
you may.
It was.
I don't know. You might
one with Amy on it, so it was episode 30.
Yeah.
Wow, close.
Damn, I was really close.
Yeah.
Under pressure. I was off by 1. Yeah, I'm gonna give this a 6.5.
All right.
No, wait. I give that one a 6. I'm gonna give this one a full 7. Why not? I'm gonna go with a 7.
Full 7.
He's calling it a 7. What about you, Tori? What do you think about the old El Paso?
The old El Paso is good. It's not going to get as high as a rating as the other two because I think the other two have more of a versatility when it comes to this type of stuff. I know we talked about how soft this cheese was at room temperature, and heating it would only make it softer and possibly maybe even a little bit too soft to eat, almost a watery to a degree. But with that being said, the fuck are you doing?
Eric thought I put cheese on his table.
I thought there was cheese on my table. I was like, what the fuck?
But it's not. It's a part of the lid that you had to peel off. But Eric was preemptively freaking out.
Yes.
Cheese on my table.
There's cheese!
But yeah, so I think it has less versatility than our two other friends here. Still good. I'm going to land at a 7. I think it's a 7.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me personally, I definitely agree with you on the less versatility thing. I think for me, as far as that goes, I like the slightly elevated heat level there. For me personally, I'd really love to try this on a fry, and I'd like to try it a little bit warm. I'm just a little bit concerned about the consistency of it at that temperature. I'm afraid it might be a little too loose for me.
Yeah.
So to that end, I'm really struggling with this a little bit. I think flavor-wise, I don't want to factor the consistency in too much. So I do think, like, flavor-wise, I'm going to come in right around at a 7. I think that's pretty fair. And if I was to factor in more of the consistency, especially warm, that could change. It might go slightly down. I'm afraid it would be too thin. But as is, I would say we'll call it a 7.
That's interesting. Our first triple agreement all gave it 7s.
Try 7s.
Yeah.
Try 7s. Tori, do you want to go ahead and lead us off with your rating on the Rico's Queso Blanco?
Yeah, I really liked it. I thought this Queso Blanco was really good. I think it found a home on these chips. Whatever other chips aren't these chips that we've been referencing all night, I don't know the damn difference. So
they're yellow
or white or whatever.
They're corn-based instead of wheat.
They're
flour-based.
They're corn-based.
These are, tortilla chips are flour and something.
Flour and something.
There we go.
You heard it here first, folks. Flour and something.
Something else.
All right.
I'm thinking there are corn in those chips, Eric.
Oh, it is corn.
Yeah, you dumb shit. You can see the texture in it. They're clearly corn chips. There's no corn. The yellow is the corn.
Yeah.
These ones are all flour.
They were bad. I didn't know what they were.
They're just bleached, dude. I think I literally don't think there's any difference between them.
Yeah, well, it says white corn. Yeah, that's all it is. It's white corn, vegetable oil, sunflower.
They're different. These ones are tortilla chips. You big dumb.
They do taste different, though, in my mind. Maybe it's just all in my head.
It's the artificial flavorings, the colorants you're tasting.
It's all in your head.
It's that extra splash of bleach in there.
So hit us, Tori, with your rating. Without Eric's preamble, the chip bullshit, hit us with your actual rating for this dip.
Well, I was just getting into how you could diversify this particular cheese. And what I was saying was the difference between the chips. I think it would be good on this particular chip or the antithesis of whatever chip we're eating. I don't know. I thought it was good hot. I thought it was good cold. Yeah, I mean, I think it is a 9 in its own respect. Yeah, I mean, parallel with the spray cheese. I think it's great. I think they have both different applications. I think they both crush it on both applications. Rico's, of course, has a very near and dear place to my heart. So with that being said, I'm going to give it a 9.5.
All right, very nice.
Write that down.
I think for me personally, the one thing I was a little bit disappointed about was, okay, so I didn't like it cold nearly as much as you guys did. I tried it on a flip side. Maybe I should have tried it on a white round. I was a little bit disappointed by one thing, and I was hoping, based on the outside of the jar, I was hoping that there was going to be little green chili pieces in there, and there weren't. It was a stark white consistency, which I think is consistent with what you expect from Queso Blanco. They're not false advertising there, but on the front, it does show some little, I don't know if that's cilantro or parsley or little chilies on there or something like that, but there's some little greeny boys in there, and I would have preferred it with some little greeny boys on the inside. One other vegetable that I know is distinctly absent from this based on its white color is corn. As you know, corn can't be in things that are white. There is, however, it's loaded with flour. But no, I think for me personally, like I said, I would have actually preferred, I think if it had been a little bit more amped up with flavor, I maybe would have preferred it more on a nacho chip as opposed to a tortilla chip.
You should give it a spin after the show.
I really, really, really like the original Rico's, and in comparison, I think this falls a little short. I think for me, I'm going to have to come in with a 6.5.
Oof.
Yeah, I know, which I feel a little bit guilty about, seeing as how I love the Rico's, but I feel like it needed a little bit something more. I think the green chilies would have really brought it up for me personally, just from an appearance and also for maybe a little bit more of that kick. What about you, Eric?
So yeah, Rico's is the one that's really like pulling up to, and actually, so I'm going to give it a 7. It's tied with my creamy queso sauce. I think the versatility, like you were saying, how good it was hot and cold. I like the flavors, and I think I know I'm supposed to be judging just the sauce, but like
we rank sausage here.
It's so compatible. It has such a nice, mellow, good, creamy cheese taste to it.
Mellow is a good way to describe it.
It is
It's mellow. And Adam was alluding
mellow,
to,
not yellow.
you can amp that up by putting in some peppers or some little green chilies or something. You can really turn it into a spicy.
I think as an ingredient,
Blanco.
this one that is going to be the most versatile by far. Like if you're looking for something to cook with, you could amp that up in 100 different ways.
Yeah,
absolutely. So yeah, I'm giving it a 7 because it really is. It was again more than I expected. Liking it more than I expected. I guess I can't remember what I gave Rico's.
You know what?
Original.
I'm going to go back and I'm going to give it a discretionary half point. And here's why.
Nice, hit it.
Here's why. Because I really like that when you heat it up, it looks like that legit Mexican queso. It gets the brown crusties and shit on it. The brown crusties were tasty. And I'm thinking like, man, you're getting like an authentic, queso. Like, I think if you serve this in a restaurant, no one would know the difference. You know what I mean? And so to that extent, I think for the value that you're getting for that, yeah, that's worth a half point. Sure.
Nice.
Bring me up to a 7.
Yeah, the price point.
Yeah, that's something worth mentioning. It blows these other two out of the water with 15 ounces.
Yeah, damn. That's another
healthier.
That's health food. That's a good point. Yeah, there's a lot to like about that Rico. So once again, Rico's knocking it out of the park. I would say I would really like to try the rest of their lineup too.
Yeah.
Try that condensed one, the spicy one especially. Yeah, I would definitely try any of those. Rico's is welcome on my show any day of the week.
Any day.
In fact, they're even welcome to send us their different flavors that we've yet to try.
Send it to us for free. saucespoken@gmail.com. Email us your sauce.
And if the CFO wants to come on and be a guest, we're welcome to have him or
Absolutely.
her. Yeah.
I'll give you so many discretionary points. Maybe our first perfect 10.
Maybe.
Eric,
the elusive,
looking at you over
the
here, you
elusive
piece of
perfect
shit.
10.
But I think that's going to do it for us this week here for these 3 cheeses. And once again, those are Great Value Cheddar Cheese Wow,
Old El Paso Creamy Queso Sauce,
Rico's Queso Blanco.
And that's gonna wrap it up for us with these, the 3 cheesemen that we are here. And without any further ado, Eric, do you have any closing thoughts that you would like to share with the listeners?
I actually have something kind of thought of today because it's relevant to today specifically.
You actually have something kind of thought of.
Sort of. It's just, we take things for granted and, it's good to be aware of the common things in life, like being able to turn on a faucet and have water, or being able to take a nice hot shower.
I thought you were going to take a shit. Go home and take a nice shower.
Because I recently had the water, was recently turned off on me for the last 36 hours.
You didn't pay the IRS. You didn't pay your water bill.
No, we have
what happens.
The changing of seasons and water main breaks are just part of that fall time happenings, unfortunately. And literally, it's been all down my street. Literally, like in a 2-course mile, we've had 3 water main breaks. So it's been pretty crazy.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's got them old ass water mains.
We do. That's my thought of the day: is be grateful for the simple things in life and try and be aware of them.
That's why we keep you on the show, Eric.
When you go without them, it's incredible how many times I want to wash my face, wash my hands, freak out when someone steps on cheese on my carpet.
Which didn't even happen.
It was fine.
How old is this carpet-y?
Ancient. Actually, I don't know.
I want to tear this carpet out, but if you get cheese on it, I'm going to blow my stack.
I moved in here.
One drop of cheese that will instantly come out. I will absolutely lose my shit.
You're right. Yeah, the cheese will come out just fine. In the first 3 months, I spilled coffee all over this carpet, and it's permanently stained. So
permanently ruined. The beautiful
carpet needs to be
mauve carpet
torn out of here so bad.
I know you've been talking about trying to tear it out
since I moved in.
Yeah. Well, with all that, Eric, finally some closing thoughts. Are you done?
Sort of. Yeah, I'm done.
Oh, okay.
I was so done I was going to take off my headphones.
Wow.
Wow.
It's time for Touching Thoughts with Tori.
They're so touching.
Yay!
Wow. Yeah. Well, I want to talk today, and I want to talk today about faith, and I think faith is important. And without getting too churchy on you, because I know that can turn a lot of people off, but faith is a funny thing. And we wake up every morning and we put faith in a whole number of weird things. We put faith in the idea that your water will turn on. We put faith in the fact that your car will turn over. We put faith in the fact that your computer may or may not turn on, whatever the case may be. We put all this faith unknowingly and unwittingly in all these things all the time. Maybe you should put some faith in yourself. You should do that thing that you've been thinking about doing and maybe haven't done. Or, I'm going to harp on you again. Here it is, the first week in November. And those New Year's resolutions only have 2 more months remaining. So, yeah, have a little bit of faith in yourself as you move on here in November and December, these last remaining months in 2021. And, God, we love having you here, and we are so proud of you. And that's it for me.
I think that's very astute. And I used to have a former boss who would always say, I don't like it when people make assumptions. And I'm like, listen here, you numbskull cheese dick jabroni. You make an assumption every day you leave your house that you're not going to get creamed on your way to work by an 18-wheeler. So don't sit here and tell me about making assumptions. You can either sit there and prove something out, or you can make one tiny little assumption and save yourself 10 fucking hours of work. That always drove me up a wall. So I'm right on board there with you, Tori. Have a little bit of faith that I'm not going to come to work and fucking clock you one of these days when you start mouthing off to me. Oh, boy. A podcast that respects former coworkers.
Take it in. Yeah, you can interpret that any which way you like. So if that's how it speaks to you, then God love you.
Cool. Well, as always, we really appreciate you listening. We're glad that we got all this cheese. We're going to hit the head now because we got to start clearing this out of our systems, if you know what I mean. But as always, thank you for listening, and we'll catch you next week.
Oh no, it's the end of the show. Thank goodness there's several other episodes waiting just for you. Check out our Instagram. We like to have some fun over there. We post the sauce bottle pics if you're curious, and the occasional meme. That's going to be Sauce Spoken official. Despite our humble nature, we are accepting donations, believe it or not. Look us up on PayPal. That's going to be @SauceSpoken. Hey, and if you like what you hear, grease those palms, babe. Lastly, roll up your sleeves and get into the nitty-gritty. It's saucespoken.wordpress.com. We have show notes and details. Check it out. Share us with a family member or a friend. If you're enjoying it, I'm certain they will too. Good night.